Hi there, this is Why Korea filling you in with facts you want to know about Korea. Korea is one of the top 3 highest coffee consuming countries based on 2020. Coffee was brought into Korea by missionaries in the 19th century and now has become essential to Koreans. However, coffee beans can't be grown in Korea, so the country depended all entirely on imports. What kind of beverages did Koreans enjoy back when there wasn't any coffee? Today, let's find out about traditional Korean beverages. Shikke. Shikke is a beverage made with infused malt water and rice fermented at an even temperature. This malt is called 엿기름 in Korea. The amylase in the 엿기름 changes the carbohydrate in the rice into sugar, making Shikke a sweet beverage. Traditionally, Shikke was fermented in a warm room during the cold winter and was placed outside to be chilled in the cold. Shikke boiled down into a form of syrup is called 조청, and 조청 boiled down and hardened like candy is called 엿. Jocheong and honey was mainly used as an ingredient for sweetness in Korea before sugar was popularized. The remaining grain of rice from the Shikke has its lovers and haters because of its unique texture. With all the carbohydrate broken down, only fiber remains in this rice. Some foreigners even commented that it felt like chewing the paper tube of a toilet paper. You don't have to eat the grain of the rice, depending on your preference, so no worries. Have a go at it. A glass of cold Shikke with a roasted egg after a good sweat at a sauna will make you feel as if you are in 7th heaven. An improperly made Shikke will lack sweetness. Some add sugar for this reason, and some use ingredients such as sweet pumpkin to increase the sweetness. Mass-produced Shikke products from factories add a great amount of water and sugar to increase the quantity, making it more like sugared water with only a scent of Shikke. Therefore, we recommend you try a traditional homemade Shikke. You can buy factory-produced products from supermarkets and convenience stores. Traditional homemade Shikke can be found in stores which specialize in homemade Shikke, traditional local markets, and in some supermarkets. Sujeonggwa. Jeonggwa is a traditional Korean snack made with fruits preserved in honey. Chilled cinnamon tea, Shisandra tea, and different kind of tea made from fruit juice with jeonggwa added is called Sujeonggwa. In the present, only tea made from cinnamon and ginger with gotgam and pine nut is considered as Sujeonggwa. Persimmon peeled and dried is called gotgam. Adding the stiffly dried gotgam into the cinnamon tea will soften the texture and make a delightful beverage. Some restaurants in Korea offer Sujeonggwa for desserts, but most is served without the gotgam. Factory-produced Sujeonggwa sold in supermarkets are actually just cold cinnamon tea. Gotgam is relatively expensive, and preparing the tea and gotgam individually, only to add them together just before it is served, makes it quite impossible to find the traditionally made Sujeonggwa. So if you want to try a proper Sujeonggwa, you should go to a cafe that specializes in traditional Korean beverages. Cinnamon used in Korea is a type of cassia, which is relatively spicier with a pungent flavor. Ginger itself has a unique scent and spice, so trying Sujeonggwa won't be as easy as trying Shikke. However, the combination of the spice in the cinnamon and the sweetness in the gotgam will be a different kind of experience. Hwachae. Hwachae is a cold beverage with fruits and edible flowers added into Shisandra tea, honey water, or fruit juice. It is quite similar to a fruit punch. It is an appropriate beverage during the hot and sweaty summer for a quick and easy absorb in water, sugar, vitamin, and so forth. The difference between Hwachae and Sujeonggwa is that Hwachae is made in spring and summer, a season bountiful of flowers and fresh fruits, while Sujeonggwa is made during the barren winter with stored fruits preserved in honey. The Hwa in Hwachae means flower. In the past, edible flowers were added to the Hwachae with fruits. The most commonly used flower was azalea. Azalea is one of the typical flowers that come into bloom in Korea during spring and was used as an ingredient in hwachae or hwajeon and other dishes. These days, watermelon hwachae is most common. Instead of Sisandra tea, sparkling drinks such as Sprite or 7-Up is added to watermelon and other various fruits of personal preferences. Hwachae is normally something people make at homes, not purchase. You should go to a pub instead of a cafe if you want to try hwachae. At cafes, you can find ice flakes with fruits, and at pubs, you are likely to find hwachae served as bar bites. Misugaru. Misugaru is a mixture of steamed or roasted grains such as rice, barley, beans, adlay, and etc., dried and made into powder. Koreans pour water or milk to the Misugaru and enjoy it cold in summer. Extra honey makes it more delightful. It is quite hot and humid during summer in Korea, making people exhausted and lack of energy. Drinking grains mixed with water helps supplement on people's diets. Misugaru was used as a combat ration in the Joseon Dynasty period since it doesn't require any cooking. Normally, Korean households purchase powdered products sold at supermarkets. Unlike Shikke and Sujeonggwa, you can easily purchase Misugaru at most cafes in Korea. The taste of Misugaru may vary depending on the grains and the mixture you choose to use, so you can create your very own recipe. Koreans make their very own grain combination and bring it to the mill to be grinded. A good tip for a delicious Misugaru lies in the right amount of water and honey added to the Misugaru. Most mothers have the perfect recipe. Though it is just a simple combination of water and Misugaru, it can't seem to taste just like how moms used to make them. The savory taste of the grains and the sweetness of honey make Misugaru easy to approach for first-timers. However, the rough texture of the grain could be a little uncomfortable. Sungnyung. Koreans live on rice. Traditionally, Koreans cooked rice in a cauldron made of cast iron called gamasot. Rice stuck on the bottom of the gamasot is called nuringji. Water added and boiled together with nuringji is called Sungnyung. There are a lot of spicy and salty fermented food in Korea, leaving one's mouth with saltiness, and Sungnyung helps reduce this. This is why Sungnyung is usually enjoyed after meals. People who weren't able to afford to drink tea would drink Sungnyung instead, which made Sungnyung one of the most popular beverage. However, most households use electric rice cookers instead of gamasot these days. Most people don't drink Sungnyung anymore because nuringji can't be made by electric rice cookers. You can't even find Sungnyung at cafes or supermarkets. These days, Koreans get a cup of coffee instead. There is an analysis of the transition of drinking coffee instead of the culture in drinking Sungnyung. Koreans prefer the earthy and nutty taste in coffee rather than the sour and savory taste. The analysis is that Sungnyung, water with slightly burnt rice, and coffee made with slightly roasted beans are quite similar. If you want to try out Sungnyung in Korea, you should go to a restaurant that serves dolsopbap, cooked rice in hot stone pot. Once you are served with a stone pot for one, remove all the cooked rice into another bowl, pour some water into the pot, and then put the lid on. While you have your meal, the heat from the dolsot will make a delicious Sungnyung. You can also purchase nuringji from the supermarket and boil it with water to make Sungnyung. In Korea, When a certain dish or food tastes watery or lacks of flavor, we use the expression, "It's like Sungnyung." This shows how not pungent and bland Sungnyung is and how the earthy flavor makes it easy to give a shot. Today we covered the different kinds of Korean traditional beverages. Which do you feel is your cup of tea? Anything you want to know about Korea? Let us know on the comment below. It really helps us when choosing the theme for our next clip. Till next time, 안녕.